This is the block move drill, and it is performed using a 0-degree laparoscope held in the non-dominant hand and a 5mm ratcheted grasper in the right hand, which is going to hold the curved needle. For left-handed individuals, this setup can be reversed. For this drill, the 5mm ratcheted grasper holds a large curved needle. This is a CT1 type needle. And each of the blocks is positioned. There are 4 blocks total, and the blocks are positioned such that these rings are longitudinal or perpendicular compared to the orientation of the needle. So we will start the timer and then individually pass the needle through the ring of these blocks by supinating the wrist, bring the block over to the drop-off zone, and pronate the wrist such that the block drops off within the circle, or at least while the circle is underlying the block as shown there. The blocks do not need to be completely within the circle to get full credit, but they need to be dropped off over the appropriate location. So as shown here, we'll bring the third block, come back with the camera, come in relatively close, will aid in depth perception. As you can see, if you're way far back, as shown here, it's very difficult to see. But as you see here, if you supinate the wrist, it's relatively straightforward to elevate the block, lift it off, and drop it off. Once all 4 blocks have been placed appropriately, we stop the timer. So again, to perform another repetition, the blocks are set up as shown, and in particular, the needle should be oriented, and occasionally the needle can get twisted or turned as shown here. If that occurs, then the needle should be repositioned within the grasper. The best way to do this is actually to reach in from the side and to externally load this needle as shown here manually by positioning it by hand. And then as you can see, it's oriented correctly and makes it much more achievable to grasp the blocks in the appropriate fashion as shown here. The proficiency level for this drill is 16 seconds, and that level of performance should be achieved on 2 consecutive repetitions for documentation of proficiency.